Good morning. We're at day 5 of the cut. Good changes, 85.7. Supplements slash breakfast this morning. So Ghost, we're going to take before the gym, some almonds and a banana now, let it digest before we go to the gym, and then OptiTest, black seed powder, honey, creatine, and obviously some salt as well, like I always do. And basically, yeah, that's it. Every morning, same thing, at it again, persistent, consistent, chopping the tree bit by bit until we get to our goal. If we're slowing down or stagnating with the progress, then we reduce the carbs a little bit and or add some cardio. Depends on where you are in your cut. I like to drop the carbs a little bit in the beginning and then slowly increase the cardio as the weeks go by. I'm gonna have that stuff now, run some errands, and then head to the gym. See you there. Finally on the way to the gym after finishing the errands. What we're gonna train today is chest. Favorite day of the week. Sometimes we do it twice a week, so yeah, favorite whichever day of the week it is. We're gonna do a warm-up. We're gonna do bench press, incline dumbbell press, dips, and then a couple variations of flies, and then some tricep work, and then 10 to 15 minutes of cardio, and then we'll call it a day. Actually, wait now. And then we're gonna eat, and then call it a day in the gym. We're gonna eat, and then go for a walk, and then call it a day. See you inside. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're starting the day strong with a nice, good warm-up. Banded, the basically bulletproof rotator cuff warm-up to get the shoulders primed for a lovely, lovely chest session. We're going crazy today. Not too crazy, but we're going crazy. Always close to failure, and the last set, always trying to go to failure, but make sure you do that sensibly with a spot behind you. Pause. But that's what we're going to do. Now I think here my shoulders were a bit fatigued, so I take a little second to collect myself and then go back at it again, doing the clockwise motion, get a couple of reps in, then anti-clockwise. There you go. You can see the expressions on my face as the agonizing burn burns my shoulders. Right, and now we are waiting for the final bit, again, waiting for the fatigue to, well, not fatigue, the soreness to kind of, the lactic acid to kind of disappear. And then we're doing this final one. Even from the first rep, you can see that it is a bit, but maybe I'm a bit more dramatic than other people. That's fine. Makes life more enjoyable, Anyway, we're starting off with the bar on its own on the bench press, and then we're adding a 10 on each side, so that's 40 kilos, and then we're adding a 20 on each side, which is 60 kilos. Again, a couple of reps, but now we're having the elbow sleeve zone to signal to people that we're getting serious. All right, the weight's going to 80 kilos now, trying to have obviously a little bit extra help, if you will, or just support on the elbows, because we're trying to get these elbows nice and warm and basically just make sure everything glides perfectly, and these elbow sleeves help keep them warm, prime them, and obviously assist a little bit into it, because we don't want to get tennis elbow or anything like that, so we've got to protect these bad boys. I digress. What we just did was 100 kilos for a couple of reps, and now we're onto the working set of 120 kilos with a spot, of course, we're trying to be safe. And here I got 5 reps on my own, and then 1, as you'll see here, with a little bit of help from the spotter. This is a good way to spot, because you want to make sure that he has it until he doesn't, and then you help out in the last bit. Then we moved on to 110 kilos for a couple of reps, and then we moved on to 100 kilos for as many reps as we possibly could, an AMRAP basically. But now we're moving on to the incline dumbbell press, incline chest press. What am I talking about, Rev? Anyway, incline chest press, 37.5 kilos, getting the form and technique on point, making sure everything's nice and tight for each rep. And obviously getting that last squeeze in, your face has to look like that. It's mandatory. And then we did another 2 sets of this, 37.5 kilos, showing you different angles on how it's done. Again, professional at work. Do you know what I mean? Come on. And now we're moving on to the dips, trying to do, again, as many reps as I could. Not to failure, just before failure, but we're trying to get these reps in, quality reps in, to get the nice squeeze going. I love dips. I can do a lot of them. And this is a great burner after the incline dumbbell press. Here we're doing the 3 variations of the flies. Now we're doing the lower one, targeting the upper pecs, right? Again, trying to do it as slow as I should, right? And squeezing at the top, trying to go a bit slower towards the bottom, quite faster on the way up, and then trying to control it on the way down. 2 sets of this, and then we move on to the middle part to target the middle of the chest. And this one basically is like you're hugging a tree. Okay, this is how once it was explained to me, and it stuck with me. All right, it's like literally just hugging. Imagine trying to hug a tree. That's how you have to keep your arms, slide bending the elbows, hugging a tree, and then focusing on the squeeze at the end, and then on the way back, controlling it as you would do with most exercises. Now this is the second set, and now we're moving on to the top part of the flies. So this one targets the lower chest area and trying to get that nice sweep going. Again, squeeze towards the end, try and go a bit slow on the way back on the eccentric part of the exercise to have some time under tension, which obviously helps with muscle building, hypertrophy, and this and that. Do you know what I mean? You catch my drift. It's a little bit of posing to see how beautiful and juicy the pump was. This is the second set of this. Let's go. Well, you got to do posing in between. You know what I mean? Anyway, we're doing the single arm tricep push downs. And as I always say, I love these. I love these. I love these. It's just beautiful. You get a really nice squeeze towards the bottom, and maybe I'm going a bit too quick here, but when I'm doing the exercise, it actually feels a bit slow. Sometimes I get bored, I'm not gonna lie, so I have to do it a bit quicker. I'm gonna do the other side now as well. You make sure that you kind of keep the same tempo with both sides, and whichever exercise you're doing, if it's a single arm, and just like you can even see it right now. Look at the squeeze. It's lovely. Look, there you go, squeeze. I can feel the squeeze now looking at it. Do you know what I mean? This is absolutely beautiful. And now you've got a sped up version to show you that I'm not slacking. This is the second set, and today we're doing 3 sets of this because we want to get a nice little pump, and I had the energy to do it. That we're still early on in the cut, and the energy levels are quite high, and the spirits are still up. All right, later down the line, the sets might reduce because again, tiredness and stuff and such. Moving on to this exercise, it is the straight bar tricep pushdowns. Here I'm doing a drop set, again full stack. Number 1, and then drop it by 10 kilos each time, as you also saw on day 1, because we keep the same thing going and going. Sometimes obviously we get bored, and then we can change our training split up to either upper lower, full body, but I haven't done that in a while. I'd really like the separate exercises, separate days, chest day, back day, or chest and triceps, back and biceps, shoulders, and then legs on their own, and then throw abs in the mix. And then obviously cardio, you do if you're losing weight, if you're trying to cut, we would do that with most training days, basically. Approaching the end of the set, now we're doing a sped up version. Again, receipts. I'm trying to show you. We ain't slacking, we macking. All right, there you go. Look at that. But that pump is crazy. Not gonna lie, even until now, right? If I look back, it surprises me how nice the pump was. But anyway, here we're doing Stairmaster. We're going about 10 minutes, and we reached the 10 minutes, which is lovely. And then we're doing some dead hangs to help with the lower back. And we're doing some foam rolling, again, to help release the tension in the back. And then a side mission, side quest, what we're doing here is changing the oil and oil filter in my car. I like doing this. I've been doing this for many years. It's lovely. You got to do it safely. And I'm not a trained professional, but I've been doing this for quite a while. So I thought I'd show you guys what I get up to in my spare time. Do you know what I mean? I had the time to do this. Why not? Save a little penny here and there. Helps out. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It took me about an hour and a bit. Back home to the favorite part of the day, eating. And today what we're having is the same thing as usual. Steak, medium. If you don't, again, what's wrong with you? Baby sweet corn, rice with some chicken, breast, pickles, yogurt, sweet potato, some more chicken breast, no added sugar, ketchup and lighter than light mayo. I'm gonna devour that now and then have some more almonds, 14 grams of almonds, because we have to finish our fats for the day. And then call it a day with the food, go outside for a walk about 30 minutes, and then go to sleep and do it all over again tomorrow. So, see you tomorrow.